Hi, my name is Lauren and welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your film live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your TV show, sitcom, and showcase and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are exciting times that we're in. Traditional TV is but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is on the Roku platform. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It has a viewership of 53 million and counting. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and showcasing your movie or show, or interested in coming in as a sponsor or advertiser, please send us your contact information with a brief description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you. Hi.
You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Show Kings. I hope everybody is enjoying their holiday weekend, and what we got for you today, we got two explosive topics that's going to definitely, spark some energy up in you guys some more for this holiday weekend. But first, I want to give thanks to the city of Douglasville, for having us on this in their town, and our producer Felix Washington for producing this show. And before I get started, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Talk Show King Darwin, and to my left,
I am King Jason, and to my left,
I'm King Eric, and to my left,
I am King LaRon.
All right, and together we are the
Talk Show Kings.
All right, guys. Well, before we get started, I want to let everybody know that you guys can call in. They're going to be flashing the number throughout the show, and everybody can call in. But before we get started, I just want to do a quick check-in with the Kings. We haven't checked in a while, Kings, and just, see how your holiday weekend is going, and just give us a little feedback on how you're doing today. First with you, King.
well, I appreciate it, King Darwin. So my weekend has been pretty good. Over the 4th of July, my wife and I just relaxed and chilled and spent time with our dogs, and then just enjoyed the 3-day weekend.
Okay, great. What about you, King Eric?
well, for me, on Friday, I guess me and the wife and kids, and we was out all day. Started out we went to go see the parade, but we missed it. But we still stayed in Douglas, stayed in downtown, and we took part of the festivities they had, and then came back. Daughter wanted to go swimming, took her swimming, and we came back out later on to go see the fireworks. So we just
Okay.
had
How was
family
the fireworks
time.
over there in Douglasville? How was the fireworks?
It was nice.
Really?
It was nice.
Okay. All right.
But other than that, after that, I just been resting.
Okay, that's what's up. And we got a new reoccurrence King coming back on the show, guys. King LaRon, how was your weekend? Tell them a little bit about what's going on with you.
Well, I'm be born. I was at work all weekend,
Okay.
celebrating my 1-month anniversary of the new job. So I
Congratulations.
appreciate that. So I'll be
Yes.
celebrating tonight at Sparkles in Smyrna. Shameless plug.
All right. That's what's up. And as far as with me, my weekend it went well. Friday, I think we spent it with family. Had some family throw a cookout. We enjoyed our company. Saturday, I had another partner of mine. He threw a little cookout, went over there and hung out for the evening and ate good, socialized good. Everything was good. Everything was good. Today, I'm here with these other great kings, and we're going to end that weekend off with a bang, and with these hot topics and with the hot chatter, guys. We got some hot chatter of the week. The hot chatter, first chatter of the week, of course, is the Diddy trial, guys. What's up, y'all? I mean, I know a lot of us wanted to see him hang, but, I think he's getting off kind of light over here. What you think about it, King Jason?
I just want to hear the sentence.
Just want to see the sentence?
I just want to hear the sentence, see what he's going to get. Other than stuff, I'm ready for it to be over.
Okay, yeah, because he only got hit with the 2 minor offenses, really. So
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's not a shocker.
Yeah. I mean, well, like you said, he had 12 jurors. I mean, what can you say? I mean, all 12 of them, if they feel the same way, it has to be some validity to it, right? That's the court of law. There's 12 people on the jury stand, so it got to be the defense or the prosecution didn't really prove their case as well as they thought they should have to convict this man. So what do you think about it, King Eric?
Well, I feel like that. I know we were talking earlier about how he's probably going to get off and probably just not be sentenced they probably just give him time served, but I still believe they're going to give him at least 10 years. He'll probably spend at least 10 years locked up. Now, it's kind of hard to prove that RICO that they were looking for.
Absolutely.
It's kind of hard to prove that.
I don't see him as the mob boss up in there, I mean, I know he got a lot of things going on, but to hit with the RICO, I mean, I don't think it's that much of illegal activity going on that type of a large scale as far as hitting somebody with RICO.
Well, I mean, even if they did have the evidence, you still have to prove it.
Absolutely.
So they could have had the evidence. But I mean,
well,
if they didn't prove that case to those 12 jurors, I mean,
that's that part right there.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great point. Great point.
Absolutely. All right. What's up with you? How you think about it, King LaRon, the outcome of the trial?
Just like First King, I am eagerly waiting for that final word. But my viewpoint, just from that video alone in the elevator, I think to me that'd be open and shut case. That's just my personal opinion. But.
Okay. All right. To me, I think that it's just justice due. Like you say, he was judged by 12. So I think everything worked out as how it should. If he was guilty of the other charges that they was trying to present, I'm thinking that them juries would have been able to say, okay, and seen it all alike. But obviously, they didn't prove their case. And with those charges and with it being his first offense, a lot of attorneys and defense attorneys are saying that he should probably get anywhere from 1 to 5 years, being his first offense too. So we'll see how it all plan out, and if they run it consecutively or concurrently.
Then another part, I kind of think, what may have messed up the plaintiff side is the fact that all the other testimonies, that were given, it was, to me, in my opinion, more sound. It was consensual. Even though they hired and paid male prostitutes, male strippers, and other parties who interacted and participated, it was all consensual. So why would Diddy be charged the additional, charges that was part of that? I mean, like you said,
and I can see, I can agree with that too, because I don't think nobody had a pistol to their head, forced to do any of these acts. But allegedly, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Now, I do have a question about one thing.
What's that?
It's funny how, now, I don't take nothing away from the fact that Cassie got beat up.
Right.
I don't take nothing away from that. Now, if she was the one that went out and got the male prostitutes, shouldn't she be charged with something?
I think it was a couple of his help could have been charged with some type of crime, but they only wanted Diddy. They didn't want anyone else. As you can see, they only
get
wanted
it.
Diddy because I think it was other people that committed crimes. Might have been a petty crime, but it still was a crime that they didn't charge. And they were talking about that with his with the one lady with the one help that he had, because she used to actually set it up. So
Well, I mean, it's just the same as in the R. Kelly case.
yes,
If you go to the R. Kelly case, what about the men and the women that went out and got the young girls for R. Kelly?
yes, absolutely.
And since he mentioned about the R. Kelly, you got to remember the other guy with his sex charges that was going on, where him and his wife were pretty much also dealing underage prostitution as well for celebrities. What was his name? Yep, Jeffrey Epstein. That's his name.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Prime
yeah.
example.
Yes, absolutely.
A buddy of
Yeah.
mine, we was talking
Yeah.
about, Epstein, how him and his wife were pretty much, in charge of all of the prostitution of underage girls, and how
I think her
they
name
were
was
penalized.
Maxwell something. I forget her last name, but yeah, absolutely. I'm mentioning R. Kelly. He's another hot topic, guys. Another hot topic with R. Kelly. Allegedly, someone tried to overdose him in jail, in prison. Well, what do you guys think about that hot topic with the R. Kelly?
I'll go first.
Yes,
Just
go ahead.
saying, I'm personally surprised that R. Kelly's lasted as long as he has. But that type of, I guess, deliberate act, I never agree with that. But that's
Yeah.
my personal opinion.
Yes. I don't like I say, I'm pro-life. I don't think nobody should be trying to be out here taking a life from anyone, guys. That's just unacceptable to me. But at the same time, they've been at R. Kelly. Allegedly, he has information about a lot of sex crimes that's been going on as well. And some people was like, with him and the Diddy, with him not really turning on nobody, they thinking that he was going to turn on, the higher echelon of people. But I think he kept his mouth shut, and, he was willing to do his time, willing to do the time that he was given for these charges, But R. Kelly trying to be overdosed, and his attorney has trying to push to have him released now, trying to get him out early. What do you guys think about that? Should he be let out? Should he be let out early? Kings?
I don't know. It's for me. If you're released early, at least be released early because it's your parole. It's time for your parole.
Okay.
I mean, I
get
don't.
it.
It's those special circumstances because you got money. Because, I mean, those are not going to be they don't have the same. We don't get those same privileges.
Yes.
If I was to go in jail, get locked up for the same thing,
Oh, we got some calls. We got a call coming in.
Thank you for
Calling Talk Show Kings. Who are we speaking to?
Hey, Talk Show Kings. My name is Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
Hey, Charlie.
All right.
What's your question
How
or
are you guys?
concern?
No, I just clicked on YouTube. You guys popped up. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. I just thought I would listen to you guys and maybe contribute a few points.
Okay. What kind of points would you like to share, brother?
What are you guys talking about? Hey, do you guys? Hey, I called into your show a few weeks back, correct?
Okay. That's you, Charlie? You back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember me?
Yeah, I remember you, Charlie. What's going on? What's on your mind today? Talk to us. We was just talking about a couple hot chatters today about the Diddy trial, with the Diddy not being charged with such the larger offenses, and with the R. Kelly, with him allegedly being trying to be overdosed and killed while he's in prison.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about Puff Diddy. The guy's obviously a freak. He's a sexual. He beat that woman. He's on tape beating her. He's obviously a disgusting human being. You can't beat women. You don't like physically abuse women. You know the tape that I'm talking about, right?
I agree. I agree.
Cassie?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you can't beat you don't beat a woman. You don't touch a woman. Come on, dude. There's something wrong with your brain. I mean, maybe like push a woman. Like say, listen, hey, you push her to the side, but you don't beat her. Maybe she pushes you too. You push each other. You can't like beat a woman. You don't want to beat anybody.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Physical,
Right. Okay.
yes.
So here's the deal. I think that they wanted to something about him like sending sex workers over state lines. Like I'm not sure if he was in New York and he's like, listen, you're in Ohio. I'm gonna send you to New York. The whole thing was kind of messed up. The dude, he's obviously a sexual freak. We're all freaks. But you can't touch a woman. You can't beat a woman. I don't care what's going on. The guy maybe needs to serve a lot of time for beating that woman.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, he didn't get charged with the abuse of her, and she really actually settled out of court on that case for $30 million she received. So, I don't even understand why she was still testifying against him. I don't know if he didn't have a non-disclosure clause in the contract after he gave her the money or not. But she settled that case.
Yeah, I guess she got a lot of money. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. What's up with that male escort? Do you guys follow that guy, that male escort?
No, I don't follow him. No, I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know who you're talking about at this time.
Evidently, Casey or Cassie, there was a male escort, and I think she sought him out after they had sex. She wanted him to have sex with her multiple times afterwards. I think I may be wrong, but she was like into it.
Oh yeah, and that's why a lot of them had to be into it. Come on, Charlie. If they came to a Diddy party, well, don't you think they know what goes on at a Diddy party?
Yeah. I mean,
They gotta know. They gotta know. It's been going on forever. Do
you think? Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If he was released tomorrow, do you think he could resurrect his career? Do you think he could be a great pop star again?
I don't think so. He has lost his fame.
I'm on the fence with that one. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence, Charlie. What do you think, Kings?
I think he'll be blackballed.
Okay, King Jason or King Eric, you think he'd be able to make his career, get his career back?
With with the world being so forgiving,
Possibly.
with certain people, he probably will.
Okay, all right.
Because everybody loved that redemption story.
Yeah. What about you, King Laurent?
I think it'd be split between generations, where different generations would forgive him and other ones wouldn't.
Okay, all right. Well, there you have it, Charlie, and we're going to get on with our, stay tuned, man. We're going to get on with these hot topics, too, for the week. So stay with us, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Charlie. All right, guys. So there you have it. We appreciate that. We appreciate that call. So to the hot topics, these explosive topics. Today, the first topic, guys, is going to be predatory behaviors at work. All the way from 1 to 1,000, right? So, I know I've been in the workforce before in corporate America, and I feel like I've been harassed and predatorily, so to speaking, sexually and just work performance wise. How about you, King Jason? You ever experienced it?
Out of my knowledge, no.
Okay.
But I have been experienced where women have flirted towards me, but I never took it in offense. But
Okay.
during my time of career, in the workforce, I have heard of a lot of cases of sexual harassment in the workforce, of how common it is.
Yes, it's very serious,
Yeah.
guys. Please understand that this topic is a very serious topic. We're definitely not trying to, shun the light. We're just definitely trying to bring awareness, because just talking to people on an everyday basis, I have found that it has been a lot of that going on, down here as well. And those are a lot of complaints, and that's why we're trying to bring awareness to it, because a lot of people feel that they've been violated or pressured to do certain things to keep their job and to also get advanced in their career. So that's why we're actually trying to bring awareness to it and let the world know what they can do if it's happening to you. So what about you, King Eric?
I've never experienced that. I've heard about it. I've heard that it goes on, and even in my past jobs, I've heard about it, but I've never actually had to deal with it myself personally. And I know that sexual harassment is a very, very big no-no in jobs. Now, I can say that I have had to report sexual harassment because, number one, if I knew that if someone came to me and I didn't report it, that's my job. And I wasn't losing my job on it.
Okay, well, hold on a second. You said that you haven't been, but you reported it.
Well, I haven't. I haven't.
Clear that.
It has. What I was saying is I've never had it happen to me. Nobody has ever came to me and said that I have sexually harassed them, or I haven't had to go to management and say that I was sexually harassed.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Now, as far as someone else coming to me and saying that this person over here is sexual harassing me,
right,
that's different.
Okay.
Now, I've had to deal with that, but at a supervisory level.
Yes.
So
yes.
I've dealt with it on that level.
How did you feel about that when that came to you, when that approached you? How did you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I feel like sexual harassment, you shouldn't have to sexual harass anyone.
Yes. Yes.
If somebody tells you no, that's it. It's a done deal.
Absolutely.
It should be a done deal.
Absolutely.
And you shouldn't put your hands in places. I mean, because at this time, what was told to me, I couldn't even believe what she said. She said the guy actually touched her in her private part. I'm like, so he touched you on the butt? No, he didn't touch me on the butt. He touched me in the front.
Oh, wow.
So
the nerve of really people today, right?
Right. So that was what was going through my head. So it was like, okay, just give me your statement so I can turn it in. That's all I could do.
Did you ever find out the outcome on that? You ever get the outcome of the case? Uh-oh, we got another call, guys. Got another call.
Good afternoon. This is Talk Show Kings. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, I got something to say.
All right, Charlie.
No, who?
Who is this? Who's calling?
Yeah, it's Trevon.
Siobhan? You sound like Charlie.
Not Trevon.
Oh, okay, Trevon. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Are you live right now?
Absolutely.
Negro, please. You got to stay away from these snow bunnies. They're going to take you down. When you go into the office and that snow bunny is like, hey, you got to be like, no. I got no time for no snow bunny.
Well, yeah, we got to be careful with everybody these days, Charlie.
What? No. Jokes aside, stay away from the white woman. Stay away from the white woman.
All right, well, we'll take that advice. We'll definitely take that advice, Kings, right?
Hey, can I say something?
Yes, go ahead, Charlie.
All you guys are overweight. You need to go for a walk around the block. Twice.
Oh,
5 times.
Yes, well, thank you.
You got the brother in white, he's in good shape. But you other brothers, you gotta stop going to Burger King. You guys are overweight.
Yeah, we got to get it together. We're working on that, Charlie. Thanks for your comment. All right. Let's get back to the show. All right, Charlie. Thanks again, man. Thanks again for your comments. So that gives us a little inspiration, guys. He said we a little heavy over here. So I know I definitely been working towards it, but I need to dedicate myself a little more.
Yeah, he's not lying.
Yeah.
I'm just myself. I am overweight. It's unhealthy.
Absolutely.
It's not good for me as a young man. because it puts me at a higher risk of a heart attack, a stroke, or anything.
Yes,
We have spoke about that on previous episodes about how we should treasure our physical and mental health.
Absolutely. I don't. I like constructive criticism. I take it positively. So appreciate that. But go ahead about with the.
Oh yeah, you asked me
at the
what
work.
was
Yeah,
the
did you find the
outcome?
outcome? Yes.
Yeah, the outcome was the guy was fired.
That guy got fired.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
what
yes.
can you do? I mean, you have when you go back and they play cameras back and they show it.
Yeah.
Now there has been instances I've heard of instances where people have lost their job because of false statements being made,
Yes.
and
yes.
that's the other side that people don't talk about.
Right. Yes.
I mean, just because someone don't like you or you're not a part of that clique or you didn't get that promotion, so since you didn't get that promotion, let me
filed this false claim against
right.
you.
And so by being so
trying to get you fired.
exactly.
Yeah, that's just terrible for anybody to do, And I think people that file false claims on anyone need to be charged with an offense. That should be something that's put in the law. These fake calls that, these guys is at the house breaking in, but they're out there working. What do they call those calls? Spoofs or whatever? What are they called? Prank? What are they?
Oh, you talking about the spoofs?
Yeah, whatever, and trying to tell the police that they're doing something illegal, but they're actually out there working and being
Anonymous
harassed.
calls.
And people can lose their life over these fake allegations, fake calls to the, police and all of that, and fake allegations at work. And I think just to lie on anyone, it should be a law against that. Just to flat out lie against someone, that's just my own opinion, guys. Coming
I agree.
from King
I definitely
Darwin.
agree with you on that one.
But King Laron, what do you think about it? The predatory behavior at work.
I've also never experienced it directly, but I've witnessed a version within like the engineering world where like it's a majority male environment and there's at times one woman on staff, and I have witnessed some behavior differences when that woman comes in that I could tell the woman was uncomfortable. Now, I didn't know the woman well enough to approach her to speak to her about it, but it kind of like, it bothered me. I have to admit that it did. But she wasn't actually on staff long enough for me to maintain or bond relationship with her, but she ended up leaving. But I think in those scenarios, I think it's important that we don't look at somebody as a way of, eye candy ever. I think that's something that should never be tolerated. But also that we see the benefit of us collaborating, and that we should, in all avenues of jobs, to open up equality and the vision of both sides.
Absolutely, guys. I totally agree. But yes, like I was saying, it's prevalent, more prevalent than people really honestly believe, and not only to females, males too. We're sexually harassed as well. Like you say, I've been sexually harassed at work. But my skin isn't that thin, so I didn't really have to complain about it. I just knew how to just ignore it and shove it back and push it back, and let them know that I wasn't for it. Bottom line, basically, I'm just not for that type of advancement. So, but everything, eventually worked out, and I probably lost my job behind it. but hey, that's how it is in the corporate world. And what do you think about the allegations with the Tyler Perry, the sexual harassment?
Well,
$260 million claim against Mr. Tyler Perry.
So before I answer that question, I did want to say one other thing about sexual harassment in the workforce. I remember once in my career before I joined leadership where you have the third party. Say for an example, you and I having a conversation, just me and you alone.
Yes.
And if we were saying something, you and I just laughing, joking, ha ha ha, but we didn't know that there was a third party listening to our conversation, and if we said something that was very sexually offensive to them, that person can also report that as sexual harassment as well in the workforce.
Absolutely.
And how that can ruin someone's career because you would be on probation, you know, while it's being investigated. And even if you don't realize or don't know who that person that reported, or even if you know that person, you can't fight against it and saying, hey, well, I was having a private conversation with somebody. Why were you even listening to my conversation in the first place? That doesn't even matter. The fact that that third party heard it, it is still counted as sexual harassment, and they will be charged.
And it's
So-
sad.
And it should happen. I'm for that.
And it's another thing that someone can get fired over as well. If I'm showing him something on my phone and you walk by and you look at my phone, now I didn't tell you to look at my phone, but you find what I showed him offensive, that's a fireable offense as well.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. This phone is ringing off the hook. Go
We
ahead.
got caller ID. We can make sure it's not Charlie.
Yeah. Let's see.
good afternoon, Carl. Thank you for calling Talk Show Kings. How can we help you?
Can
Go-
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I want to compliment you guys. I'm not sure why you guys get together during this show, but I'm the only person watching you guys right now. I think you guys have a great show. I don't get it. I don't get why you don't have hundreds of people watching your show. Why am I the only person calling into your show right now?
Why don't you shout us out and send it to your
I
friends?
like your show. I really like your show. I don't get it. Listen, you guys are very smart. Me calling into your show, you got to be saying to yourself, this guy's kind of funny. He's a little bit funny. I don't get why you don't have hundreds of viewers.
Hey, well, we
You're
also
on
on Roku too, Charlie. We also on Roku, so we have followers and viewers on Roku TV as well. Are you on the YouTube channel?
All right. Stop acting like you're Martin Lawrence, okay? Nobody knows what Roku is.
Well, the
No,
Roku
it's
TV.
either-
You don't have it?
Well, I mean, it's either YouTube or X or Twitter. I'm confused. I'm fascinated. I like the fact that you guys get together and you do your show. I'm a fan of your show.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
We actually appreciate that, Charlie. And
Yeah.
like you say, and just pass the word. Like you say, word of mouth is the best promotion, right? Is the best
Always.
promoter,
But
the word to
nobody's watching
mouth.
it. But nobody's watching it. I'm the only person watching your show.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm a great caller. Listen, if you had 100,000 watchers right now, all of them would want to hear me calling into your show. I don't get why you guys aren't more popular.
Well, we just got to keep at it, and got to do a little bit more promotion, Charlie. That's all I can tell you. A lot of people, sometimes they can't find good information. So we're just trying to bring awareness to some topics, okay? So let us get back to the show. But we do appreciate your call.
Well, hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead, Charlie.
Are you guys like childhood friends? How did you guys meet?
No, we're not childhood friends at all. No, we just all
Through networking.
linked up through
Yeah.
networking and, through the producer of the show as well.
What city did you guys cast from?
We're in Douglasville, Georgia.
Interesting. I mean, so what do you guys get from this? What do you want from this?
Well, we just get our own self-gratification, man, just sharing our own perspective. Just getting the word out. Some people it may help, some people it may not. But that's what we're here for. If we help one person, Charlie, and if we sound like we're helping you, we're doing our job.
So do you guys want to have like a television show, like a well-known, like a podcast show where you can get paid to do this? Like
One day, hopefully. Maybe one day, hopefully. It won't hurt. That wouldn't hurt, will it, Charlie?
I'm just asking you. I mean, obviously you guys have aspirations. I mean,
Absolutely.
so you'd like to make a living of this, right? Would you like to do this every day or weekly to make money from this?
Absolutely. If you got any connections, plug us in. You know
you wanna
anybody
do-
that's looking for some talk
You know what I
shows?
think you should do? I think you should include a link on your YouTube page where people can give you money. I'm not sure how it works, but I know you can
We have
where
a
people chat.
Hey, Charlie, we have a cash app that you can donate money to. It's $TV 1061.
Yes, we do have a cash app for people that do want to donate and help the cause. Absolutely.
Well,
$TV 1061.
You need to advertise that in your show.
Okay, well, you about to pop it up on the screen here real shortly for you. I guarantee you that.
We really do appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
All right. But Charlie, we got to pay some bills, and we'll be back, guys, in here in 2 and 2 after we go pay some bills. Talk Show Kings.
Come on, y'all wanted to sing Black Power so bad. Just do it. Just do it.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? You have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives. Today's world is...
You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
black on black crime, man. I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.
All right, good people. Welcome back to the second half of our show. We was just talking about, before we left, predatory behaviors at work. And I think we was left off with you, King Laron. What do you feel, and how do you feel about that?
Well,
because I think you were rudely interrupted. Well, not rudely interrupted, but interrupted.
Yeah, so my whole ideology was based off of jobs like where they have like a predominantly side of the gender, for they're predominantly male, predominantly female. And when there's a minority, for instance, let's speak for nursing, how if there is maybe one or two males on staff, sometimes like those males have like stereotypes put to them. Anytime there's any situations like that, I personally don't agree with it. I think that regardless of what the field is, regardless of what the industry is, that you should just see them as a person and who they are.
Yes.
And not based off anything else. That's my beliefs.
All right. Thank you. And before we left off, we're going to go into the allegations against Tyler Perry. Have you guys heard that predatory and those allegations? What do you think about that?
Well, it's like I said, no shocker, because I think earlier we had mentioned about one of the well-known producers who was in court, I think about a couple years ago, how he was sexually harassing his staff, and now hearing about Tyler Perry doing the same. It's no shocker. But what is shocking is that this was the first time that I've seen the conversation being posted on social media and on TMZ, where I was able to read the whole conversation. Now, in my opinion, half and half. It's a little bit of sexual harassment and a little bit about business, but you have to, I guess, wing that person to the conversation or something. But in my opinion, I mean, hey, you do what you do, you're gonna get busted. You are one of the world's richest men in the world.
Yeah,
you're going to get sued.
I mean, but do you think? I mean, because when a person has reached the height of success in the movie industry as Tyler Perry, do you think it's valid for him to actually climb into someone's bed?
No.
These are the supposedly allegations.
Still, once again, it's the workforce
that's out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's crossing the line.
See, for me, I feel like when people get to a certain level, they feel like they become untouchable. And they start doing things that they wouldn't normally do. Or they're doing the things that they did, but now that they reached that level, it's heightened those feelings, it's heightened the things that they do, because see, now they feel like they can get away with it even more because of the money that they have. And when someone settles, when someone settles for a certain amount of money, to me, that makes them, it still says you're guilty. Because if you're not guilty, you're going to fight it to the end. Because if I didn't do it.
Absolutely.
Look, I ain't do it. And you're going to have to, you're going to have to
prove it.
Show me.
Yes.
That I did it.
Point blank period.
So in this instance, if you look at Tyler Perry, you look at the Harvey Weinstein, this whole Me Too movement that came about, women are tired of being degraded in the workplace.
Hold that right there. Hold that right there now, because you said women. Now, this was another shocker, because it wasn't a woman that's making no sexual allegations against Tyler Perry this time. This is a male.
When I said
Derek
women,
Dixon is his name.
When I said women, I'm talking about the
the
Me Too movement.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, when you talk about it being a man in this instance, is he doing this because of money? Is he coming out to get that money?
9 times out of 10. Absolutely.
Because and how long has this really been going on before you decided to say something?
hey, like I said, all of these are allegations as of right now. But like you said, if it's a payoff involved, then 9 times out of 10, a lot of this information could be valid.
It could be.
It could be. You know, like you say, I can't never testify against whether it happened or not because I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
So I would never be able to testify. But at the same time, like you said, it has to be held in a civil court of case of law, or what have you, if it goes that far. And what do you think about it, King Laron? The allegations.
Well, this is actually my first time hearing it. I've been flooded with the news of like the war and Beautiful Bill stuff. So, but I make a great point. But I've seen so many times where individuals who start from like the underground of an industry get to a high sense of fame, and then things like this change, and people use that fame as a way of being able to get over on people as a leverage, and not all people do it. But again, like I said, it's allegations. But I just think it's very sad though when individuals let that fame and money change their mindsets and who they are as a person.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
I want to I'm not changing the subject, but I want to kind of relate something else, but kind of twist it. So,
go ahead, King.
You know how we hear a lot of women what they call gold diggers? And
Yeah.
especially when someone graduates high school, graduates college, and they get a contract with NFL, NBA, and they're offered hundreds of millions of dollars. And the first thing you'll see or hear, oh, that's my man, I'm going to marry him. Next thing you know, as soon as he gets pregnant, she wants half of his money.
Yes.
You know, so the reason I brought that up is that with the gentleman who's filing suit against Tyler Perry, you know, his lawyers are going to really file a what they call it. They're going to file a court order to get a copy of all of their messages to really see what's going on. But other media sources and social media, are they going to look at, well, all he wants is Tyler's money. That's all he wants, just Tyler Perry's money. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, a lot of people are
You know,
sympathetic to other people's feelings behind these allegations because, you know, they don't really know if the person was willing at first and then all of a sudden changed their mind. So we weren't there the whole time. So a lot of people are, you know, not too sympathetic for too many people that makes these allegations.
Correct.
Because a lot of it has been lies and some of them have been true. So. And then, like you said, he is a wealthy man. So everybody seem like they're out for some cash, right? So you never can tell if the person is really true about what they say or not. But I don't think I would be able to just make these allegations if they weren't true. Some of the allegations has definitely been beyond past. We got another caller, guys. Let's try to see who this is.
Good evening. Thank you for calling Talk Show Kings. This is King Jason. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say something, and I want to be sincere.
Okay, Charlie, you go ahead now. We're gonna have to put you down to once a week, Charlie. One call a day, once a week. But what's your comment?
So, what's the guy's name in the white shirt? What's his name in the white shirt?
King Laron, sir.
Okay, this man is in amazing physical shape. You three are absolutely disgusting. You look like you've been.
Well, thanks, Charlie, for your comment. We had enough. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. You already told us that. I don't know if you kind of a little on the side of the day, but you already told us that, Charlie. But to our next topic, to our next hot topic, explosive topic, we're gonna tap into synthetic gratification, guys. What do we think about this fad or this phase that's been going on for some time now? Far as with these sex toys, porn, what do you guys feel about this synthetic gratification that a lot of us may have or have not participated in, or know a lot of people that do participate in? What's your comments and concerns about this?
Well, other than those topics of what you were just mentioning, you have people who are gamers, cyber, social media as well, where you have people who want to be popular, who wants to get all of the attention, especially when it comes to gaining, revenue. Because I know in social media, especially like TikTok, and Instagram, once you get a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of hearts or a certain amount of views, you start to get the money. So you're going to do whatever you can to get the attention, to get the notification of who you are, of your existence, So, and then there also has been studies where it is addictive to do that type of stuff. So,
absolutely.
And hearing this subject being brought up was really good because with our current young generations, they're easily to become victims of cyberbullying because as the caller who keeps calling, he's over here insulting us of being big and overweight. But so what? If this was on a video game and it was somebody else, that would be called cyberbullying. Because there's been cases of suicide in teenagers because of cyberbullying.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot to cover on this type of subject, but that's my 2 cents on it.
Okay. All right. What do you feel about it, King Eric, on this phase and fad and craze that's been going on? Because there's a lot of women I know that they can't live without their toy.
With that rose?
The rose and all the other ones, literally. So what's your feeling and comment on this,
Well, I mean, if that's what they want to do, then do you. But
how do you feel about it?
I have no feelings about it whatsoever.
No feelings?
None. It does not bother me. It's funny to me when I see these videos of dudes walking around with their little sex dolls that look like real people. I mean, that's funny to me.
Yeah.
But I mean,
because men as well. Now, I'm not just bagging on women.
Right.
Hey, it's men that do the same thing, walking around with the pocket thing and the this and that, and see, it's.
And the reason why I say it doesn't bother me is because, number one, if you don't, one thing you can say, they won't catch no disease.
I don't know. Sometimes that plastic and silicone, we haven't got the research back on that. A lot of these plastic instruments, but we do have a caller. So, okay, I think he hung up this time.
Let me say one thing we just mentioned about on the male side. There are actual multiple companies, and I think they're Japanese owned and Japanese ran, where they actually design and manufacture sex robots.
Let's see if it's a caller. Let's see who we got. All right, Talk Show Kings. Hopefully we got a new caller.
Yeah, just yes or no. Have any of you guys ever had like a gay experience? Any of you guys?
No, not me personally, but I can't speak for everyone. But Charlie, you can't keep interrupting the show, Charlie. You can't keep interrupting the show. Just watch us next time. 1 call per week. Thank you. All right. So
as I was saying, there are actual companies that manufacture and sell sex robots, and it's becoming very high in demand around the world. Now, I'm not saying these are no cheap dolls, cheap robots. These are, you're talking about $25,000 to $50,000, even $100,000, depending on how people want to customize it. And I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine. I said, well, why would you even waste your money? But it all deals with our mental strength, I guess you could say, to where we want to feel accepted for who we are and what we are. And, having a sex robot, it's a robot. It has no brain, has no emotions. It does whatever you want it to do.
But how is that going to make you feel better, though?
Let's not say it has no brain.
I see what you did there.
Let's not say it has no brain and doesn't have any emotions, because with the AI, it's starting to have. It will do, those robots, so they will do whatever you want and give them the emotion that you're looking for, because they're going to react off of your emotion.
Okay, I take that back. There's actually a movie I saw recently that's actually that. You're right. But still, in some point, what I'm saying is.
Hello. All right, go ahead.
So we gotta
monitor.
Gotcha.
Charlie.
1
call. Yeah.
With
one
that,
call per week.
I mean, if you want to look at it deeply into a mental state, I believe that you have people that don't go nowhere. And they stay in the house because of how they being treated out in public. You have some people that's confined to their home and they're just scared to go outside because of the mental trauma that they've had in their lives, and they don't want to deal with people. That's the reason why they work remotely, and when they get ready, when they were told to go back they had to go back to the office, it didn't sit well with them because it was going to drive them to a deeper state of mental confusion. So the reason why I don't have a problem with that is because of for those that are dealing with that. Because if we're going to be pro-life about it, do what they have to do to maintain their mental state of mind. They maybe can only talk behind their computer and not have that conversation with someone face to face. Honestly, even with me, it may seem like I can talk perfect in front of people because I'm on this show. But in actuality, I talk better when we on the phone. I can get everything I need to say out better when I'm talking to you on the phone. Because number one, it's not that I don't like to talk. It's not that I don't like to look at people. I don't want to see your expression and then you get confused with what I'm trying to say, because see, your expression is going to tell me everything that I need to know. And if you're confused, now I got to try to make you feel unconfused with what I'm saying. I got to try to get you to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that's more of a psychological interaction than a sexual interaction.
It all ties in.
But this is and what I would say about that is, because it sounds like that's an illness that they may need to seek help behind. If they feel that they have an issue going out in public, talking to someone, or even carrying on and having a relationship with someone, because that's what you're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be relying on these artificial synthetic toys to get our rocks off. That's not what the Most High created us to do. Okay? That's where I'm leading us down the path. And understanding how sacred this energy is that we're releasing, not just on the male side, but also on the female side. This is a sacred energy that we have been given. And I think that we don't understand the abuse of this, because literally we shouldn't be doing any of it unless we're really intending to create life, not just for a sexual gratification, but to actually be trying to create a new life. That's what it's actually for, guys. Not to just get that, that Europia feeling, and these endorphins, and just shoot it off into the universe into nothing.
Well,
so what do you think? King Laron hasn't had a comment. Let me see. What's your take?
First of all, that was deep. What you just said, man. That was very deep. The only comment I had was actually one that you brought up in reference to the Japanese companies. One thing that I found out a couple years ago, randomly at a diner, an individual told me that in Japan, for the first time since recorded history, their population was on a decrease due to the fact that the males were engaging in sexual activities with sexual robots instead of women. And when I heard that, I thought it was a joke, but I looked it up, I did some research, and it was true. But as far as my opinions on that, I wholeheartedly agree with you that it is meant to create life, but I don't know when it transitioned away from that.
Well, it transitioned away from it when they created these pornographic channels, the Playboy book, the Hustler. These are energies and actually entities that exist. They're sexual demons, okay? And they will invade our space if we allow them to. And a lot of people, has suggested that a lot of the ones that's in control of this, place where we're dwelling on earth, as you want to call it, they feed this sexual entity. And so that's what they actually worship. A lot of them, like they say, the Easter, like the holiday of Easter. It was created by, a fertility entity as well. So these are things that exist, but we don't understand how really deep it goes when it goes to the point to where as though you feel like you have to release every day. You understand what I'm saying? That, I think, is to the point to where as though we don't know how sacred that Kundalini spirit is, because that Kundalini is basically, that's what that sperm and what that ejaculation is made of. That's your lower half, that's your lower self. But it's to raise your Kundalini to your crown chakra, but it's in your lower chakra. But we don't understand that it's really kind of really hurting us by just abusing the right to do it. You understand what I'm kind of saying?
So what you're saying is that we shouldn't be having sex unless we're trying to
create
life.
Yes,
I can't agree with that.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't.
Saying
no, now if you're married and you got a wife or you got a girlfriend or whatever you got, but sometimes you can still have sex, but not ejaculate. I understand a lot of us feel that that's the reason why you're doing it, of course, right, guys? But at the same time, every time that you have intercourse, you do not have to ejaculate. You just don't have to.
You don't.
Literally, you don't.
I was going to give you a heads up. I was going to give you...
Is that something? Because people got to understand, it's a sacred energy.
Well, what's the point?
Just like boxers. If it wasn't a point, they would tell boxers that, hey, before you fight, you can go ahead and knock everybody. But they tell you because if it's going to take away your power and your strength as a boxer, it's taking away your power and your strength as a divine being as well. You might not be boxing. You might not have a fight coming up.
I'm going to sleep after.
But you still, but you're not. But it's taking away from your strength and from your centeredness and your power. Literally.
Well, let me say a few things real quick. So, and one thing I did want to say a few minutes ago is that to answer your question about why young men are now gearing towards having sex with robots, it's not just men. I think it's still with the factor of rejection. You have males and females that are rejected daily, all ages. And if you cannot be accepted, if you're not find it attractive to someone else of an opposite or same-sex gender, you're going to take on your own self. You're going to do whatever,
This is what I'm saying. We got to understand that.
Well,
that's how we have been created to think.
Well,
that's not our natural self. And these entities, these outside forces, is what's really getting into a lot of us, that's giving you the urge to do it. Well, because it's like you said, it's addictive.
It is. It's
addictive.
While you guys were talking, I was trying to remember what it was called, but there have been studies about when you do masturbate by yourself or have sexual activities, it is to feed that drilling into your mind to where it makes you feel better. It's like you're releasing a certain type of energy in your body that manages those type of emotions. So, yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to ask this question. What's worse? Someone masturbating or someone going out raping somebody?
Well, to me, it's not about what's worse or what's better. But of course, if a person, is not harming anyone, and as long as he got his rocks off and he's fine and he can, settle down, but that's fine. But you have to understand where it stems from, is where I'm coming from.
Right, and I'm not,
because there's a lot of us.
And I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that, because there's a lot of people that needs that mental help when it comes to that.
Yes,
when it
absolutely.
comes to that. But if they're at a point in their life where they've been wronged or been traumatized by dealing with other people, it takes a lot for them to get out of that way, to get out of their own way, to actually go get that help that they need, especially when they've shut the whole world down.
But you got a lot of women, and that was another ring. Who do you think is the biggest user of these toys? Do you think it's men or women? Because
well, I say both.
I say it's women.
I say both.
I think women participate in the self-gratification more than men, but I don't know. I don't have the numbers on that. I have to King Darwin get his research team on that and get some numbers for y'all next week.
Gotta use AI. You know?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I would kind of say it's 50-50 because once
it could
again,
be 50-50.
You know, as new generations come about, there's always something new to satisfy someone's urges.
But this is the thing. Where are the urges coming from? Who sent us? Who's given?
They're natural. They're natural urges. I mean, it's within us by nature.
Some of them are.
You know,
we're being attracted to a female, but not being attracted to this rose, not being attracted to this dildo, not being attracted to this robot. Yes, that's natural. But it's not to where as though, because I done heard women say it and they out front, they going to get their toy and they don't have no discretion.
So
they make it very simply plain.
They say they don't need no
man.
But I
think that's a communication problem, because why don't you have a man, baby? Baby, if you got to get your rocks, why don't you get you a man?
Because
but you don't want to talk.
They don't want to change.
They don't want to change.
They don't want to change their mindset.
Communicate. And it's men as well. I'm not going to just bash the women, but it's about understanding that we need to learn how to communicate with each other properly and productively, so that we can be in these relationships, because the black male and female relationships are struggling the worst in this society.
Well, let's think on the good side too. I know we got a few minutes left on the show, but let me just kind of close it on this part. You know, you have to think on the good side as well. I mean, there could be couples who are dating, engaged, married, who want to spice up their relationship. So one way to spice up a relationship is to include a sex toy, to include cosplay, to include, different type of makeup, or using other stuff. I mean, whatever it is to spice up that relationship, or to make
I can go with that. I can go with that.
One of the parties happily satisfied sexually.
But I'm not talking about a couple that's just experimenting with extra.
I mean, that could be the same for a single person
I'm talking
as well.
about a person that just literally. But hey, this is another hot topic, and we're gonna revisit this topic, guys, because I think it's a lot more that needs to be said. But unfortunately, we've ran out of time. And any last words, King Eric, before we get out of here?
No, I'm going to see if my wife will let me get a robot.
Okay. All right. King Laron, what's your last words?
Last words. I'm just very grateful to be back on the squad. This has been an amazing experience. I appreciate y'all so much.
Absolutely. And with that being said, guys, hey, peace out to the next time. Talk Show Kings, TV 1061. Pass the word around. Let's get these viewers up. Y'all heard what Charlie said. We only got one person watching. We need viewers.
Yeah,
all right.
You got to go get in the gym.
Peace.
You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.